Hello, my name is Cassandra Blanco. I am Roman Catholic and I welcome you. Today's topic is going to be about heaven, and I'm going to break this talk up into 4 parts. The first is going to be about where we hear about heaven in Scripture. The second is going to be about what the Catechism says about heaven. The third is going to be about how we get to heaven. And the last is going to be about who's in heaven. So first, when we go to Scripture to look at what Scripture says about heaven, heaven is depicted in many different ways. As humans living on earth, we really don't know what heaven is like. We only get glimpses of it, explanations of it. So I think Scripture is a great place to get a taste of what heaven could be like. So the first place I'm going to go is in the book of Revelation. This is my Bible, and in the last book of the Bible, in Revelation 19, and it's verses 7 through 9, it says, "Let us rejoice and exult and give him the glory, for the marriage of the Lamb has come, and his bride has made herself ready. It was granted her to be clothed with fine linen, bright and pure, for the fine linen is the righteous deeds of saints. And the angel said to me, write this, blessed are those who are invited to the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said to me, these are true words of God." So it's a beautiful depiction of this marriage feast, this celebration, this gathering. It's this image of this, I don't know what to say, wedding feast. So that is one way. There's more scripture verses that also highlight that in Scripture, but that's the one I'm going to reference here. The second way that Scripture references what heaven could be like is as a temple. So again, we're going into the book of Revelation, and this is Revelation 11, and this is verse 19. It says, "Then God's temple in heaven was opened, and the ark of his covenant was seen with his temple, and there were flashes of lightning, loud noises, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and heavy hail." So here heaven is referenced as a temple, and beautiful just to think about the majesty of what heaven could be like. One of the other ways that we can understand what heaven could be like is more of a state of being. And in the Catechism, the Catholic Church, this is the Catechism. And in paragraph 1029, it says, 1024, I think it was, "Heaven is the ultimate end and fulfillment of the deepest human longings, the state of supreme and definitive happiness." The idea that heaven is this fulfillment of all of the longings we've ever had on earth, that we will be completely filled in union with God in heaven. So that's one way that the Catechism talks about it. The second topic I want to talk about is about how we actually get to heaven. And in the Catechism, again, in paragraph 1021, it says, "Death puts an end to human life as the time open to either accepting or rejecting the divine grace manifested to Christ. The New Testament speaks of judgment primarily in its aspect of the final encounter with Christ in his second coming, but also repeatedly affirms that each will be rewarded immediately after death in accordance with his works and faith. The parable of the poor man Lazarus and the words of Christ on the cross to the good thief, as well as the other New Testament texts, speak of a final destiny of the soul, a destiny which can be different for some and for others." So here it's saying, with his works and faith, we are judged at the end of our lives by the way that we lived our lives, the way we didn't live our lives, and also by our faith. And then also this last sentence, a destiny which can be different for some and for others. People could go to heaven, to hell, or to purgatory. The last thing I'm going to say is about who's in heaven. The simple answer is we really just don't know. The Catholic Church doesn't say who's in heaven and who's in hell, because really God is the ultimate judge of the human soul at the end of a person's life. It's a beautifully sacred thing that happens between God and the human soul and the human person, between the two, that only we will end up knowing at the end of our own lives how we will be judged, and then who else is judged in accordance. So that'll be all for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment, and I will definitely do my best to respond. Have a great day wherever you are in the world, and God bless you. Bye-bye.